All right, we are live. Another Sunday, another live stream. Had some crazy weather yesterday. Like legit hurricane. I want to say probably for an hour. I actually probably fell asleep. Maybe around 2 hours. Like torrential downpour yesterday, last night. Completely unexpected. And today was or is a beautiful day, as you can see. We got the river water that moved in a little bit because of the heavy rains that tends to happen every now and then. But hopefully the weather holds up and we don't have any rain coming in on the podcast today like we had last week. But so far so good. The skies are a little cloudy, but they're white clouds. On the north side, they're a little bit gray. But for the most part, I think we are going to be good today, and we will not have to get up abruptly and put the podcast inside. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining another live from the 7 Mile here in the grill here on the Drop channel. Happy Sunday to you all. Happy Easter. Hope everyone is having a nice weekend, a nice long weekend. At least it's a holiday here in Jamaica. I don't know wherever you are tuning in from, whether it's a holiday or not. I appreciate you all joining and spending this Easter Sunday with me here on the 7 Mile Strip here in Negril. That's the beach we got going on there. Hey, Lindy, Veins of Africa, welcome. Rachel, hello. Hey, Suzette. Mosaic, Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Thanks for hopping on. Dieter, welcome. I was mentioning a little bit ago that we had some crazy weather last night, and like probably a torrential downpour for, I would say, almost 2 hours solid. And you can see we got the river water came in, so that's what happens when there's like heavy rains in the mountains. The river tends to overflow and come down here, and so that's kind of why you're seeing that brownish stream, if you will. And so that happens every now and then. It will dissipate soon, I'm sure, but still a lovely day out here, especially compared to what last night was. This morning when I ran this morning, I was hoping that we'd get some rain because I'd much rather run in the rain than in 81 degrees and probably 80% humidity. But no such luck. Had a good run this morning. Got in 19, which was pretty good. Felt pretty strong out there. So I was happy to do that. Happy to hop into my Sunday long run as usual. Welcome, Deeper Consciousness. Hello, Lindy chiming in from Oregon. Happy Resurrection Day, Maurice. Hey, Carmen. Welcome. All right, as usual, I'd like to get right into the agenda that we have for today. We have some cool articles. I would say at least informative, maybe not cool, but definitely informative. A lot that I didn't even know was going on and happening. Most of what we're going to talk about today just happens to be talking about the parish of St. James, which is 2 parishes over from Westmoreland here. And let's get into the first one. Hey, Vanessa. Thanks for hopping on. Vanessa is our moderator, as per usual. And she helps me put everything together. She helped me put together all the articles that we have lined up for today. So actually, the first article we have is a generic tourism article entitled "Traveling in Jamaica is set to get a whole lot easier," and this was in Lonely Planet, I believe. Over to the beach view there as I read the article. So as usual, I will throw the article into the comments and you can read along, and I will read for you for those who just want to listen. I was told I read the articles a little bit too fast. If you feel that way, I'm gonna try to slow down a little bit, but I do try to read fast so I can get through them quickly, so we can discuss them because some of them can be a little lengthy. But if you feel like I'm reading them too fast, please let me know. More than happy to slow down a little bit so you can hear me more clearly. But let's get into it. So the article reads, trips to Jamaica are set to get a whole lot easier as the government moves to scrap COVID-19 tests for visitors entering the country. Effective this weekend, April 16th, travelers will no longer need to take a PCR or antigen test to visit Jamaica. The nationwide mask mandate will also be removed, eliminating mask mandates and the need for travelers to present COVID test results are important strides towards our continued gradual relaxation of travel protocols as the spread of COVID-19 keeps declining, said Edmund Bartlett, the Minister of Tourism. Jamaica was one of the first Caribbean destinations to welcome tourists back last year, but it did so by restricting them to certain areas. The Tourism Board opened what's known as the Resilient Corridor, which were essentially low-risk quasi-quarantine zones that stretch from Negril to Port Antonio in the east and from Negril to south coast of Jamaica. But as cases declined and vaccination rates increased, those zones were abolished in March, meaning that people who arrive in Jamaica are now free to travel wherever they like. In addition, people no longer need to present their vaccination status or obtain a travel authorization to enter the island. With the testing rule being scrapped this weekend, travel to Jamaica is essentially COVID restriction free. Though some health and safety measures remain in place on the ground, including the requirements to wash or sanitize your hands when entering locations upon open to the public, people also need to isolate if they contract the virus on their trip. The Tourism Board is also encouraging visitors to continue to exercise caution and observe best practice for health and safety when out and about. Most businesses are open, including restaurants, museums, cafes, bars, and hotels. As cases continue to decline, the country remains at the lowest travel risk with COVID, according to the CDC, classify the Caribbean island as level 1. And that's the end. Oh, yeah, that's the end of the article. This was again Lonely Planet. The author is Sasha Brady. This was published 3 days ago. So, exciting news, really good news. Really good news. I kind of I'll let you know the direction we're heading in here in the country, which is great. Um, of course, as the article states, and I will also say, do whatever you feel is necessary to protect yourself and your family as it relates to this. But it's a good sign showing, and we've discussed this before, my conversations with doctors and talking to people in hospitals, like they're not overwhelmed. That's kind of like a super plus, because that's rate of infections, but hospitalizations are like the scariest part of this whole thing. So yeah, as you heard, we no longer need you no longer need to be tested when you come in, or even wear a mask or anything like that. We're kind of relaxed here at the hotel. Most, I would say 90% of the guests who are here at the hotel, they don't wear their masks, or whether it's on the beach. Some do, especially when they're checking in. I think coming from the airport, they're kind of in that mode. But you can do whatever. I would say, as for the staff, I would say most of the staff are still wearing their masks, and we're not super enforcing anything as far as that goes. It's no longer the rule or law at this moment in time. I did go. What's today's day? I guess yesterday was the last day. So I did go grocery shopping yesterday, and I still needed to wear a mask and sanitize my hands. But I would do that anyway, going to public spaces. I think I'm just kind of wired that way. But again, this is kind of great news. Let me hop into the comments and say hi to a few people here. Hey, Shayna. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Jana, coming in from Ottawa. Happy Easter. Dieter coming in from Vancouver. Mr. Info. Hello, sir. Happy Easter, Camille. All right, let's hop into some of the comments on the article. Donna says, "Don't think that is a good decision. COVID cases are rising globally. I will be masking masking up." Yeah, I think. Yep, I agree with that. It's kind of weird. Like I don't know that like you hear about certain places. I know China was under. I don't know if they're still under full lockdown, but I heard they were for some period of time. And there are some places like Donna's saying that are their cases are rising. Um, I feel like keeping the COVID test mandate. I thought that would have been a good idea, and like drop the mask mandate. At least you kind of head things off coming into the country. That's my personal opinion. But I think for again where we are with cases, I think the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Tourism, I guess they feel that we're okay, and I'm comfortable with that. Like I said, I'm probably still going to be wearing my mask as well, moving around, going into different public places. Probably not going to be going to any big public events here, at least for a while, because I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. What other comments have we got here? Sherry says, just left yesterday. Beautiful weather in spite of the rain. Yeah, got some rain. Definitely did. All right. Shayna says they are still on lockdown in China and severely surveillance. Yep, I thought so. I thought so. So, I mean, you're lucky to be here and not even there. Andy just says good old vitamin D. I'm sure that helps. That helps. I'm sure that helps. And a blind guy, his wife, their life. Ghana says Ghana did the same thing recently. Finances dropping, so the mandates drops. Gotcha. So it's about the money. I actually listened to this podcast. I don't know if anybody listens to it daily, but they did an investigative report on Sudan, and they basically had no mandates almost throughout COVID and didn't get a lot of help, and not really vaccinated, but their cases are extremely, extremely low, almost non-existent. And they've been trying to figure out why that is. There's a lot of theories going, everything from underreporting cases to them just being, they have like, I think they have the highest maternity death rate there is, children being born. Like, it's like really hard to look through that process in Sudan because the healthcare system is so poor. And so another theory is that because their systems are so used to fighting like malaria and all these crazy diseases that they can deal with COVID. And the another theory was that because they've dealt with Ebola outbreaks, they're used to masking up, washing hands, sanitization. So that's kind of in their psyche, so to speak, and that could be part of it. But they still don't really know the exact reason as to why they're doing so well. So this a little side note, I thought that was interesting. And everyone says, I'm so happy to see the mandates dropped. I will be there in July. Awesome, awesome. Gizzy says, hey, Throb, what do you think about the public passenger service in Jamaica? Do you mean like the taxi service? Is that what you mean? Just want some clarification on that. In the meantime, I'm going to load up the next article here. Groundbreaking Wednesday. All right. So this is, as I was saying, moving into. Oh no, actually, this is in Trelawney. Sorry about that, but we are moving east for sure. So I'll throw the article link in the description. Oh, Gizzy says, business wise, he was talking about. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, if you're gonna, like, are you trying to open, say, like a private taxi service that services the island? It's not. I would say, depending on where you are, it's definitely I wouldn't say an oversaturated industry, but it is a saturated industry for sure. And I think, you know, anytime you're moving into an industry that has a lot of competition, like you got to come with something different, whether that's something with your services or the product that you have, or you have like a specific clientele, like a unique clientele that you're directly going to be going after that and market. And maybe that'll play a little bit into what we're going to be talking about, which is like these massive hotel developments that I'm going to start reading about now. And there's just, I mean, it has to be billions of dollars at this point that's coming into the country as far as hotel developments. Because, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, let me just read the article, but I'm just trying to figure out where all this is coming from and where we're going here, because this is kind of crazy to me. But all right, let's hop into the article here. Name of the article: Groundbreaking Wednesday. This is in the Jamaican Observer today, and it was written by. Let's see if we can get the author. Nope, not seeing the author. Always want to give whoever wrote it credit, but the link is in the comments there. I'll go through it. All right, Falmouth Trelawney, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, along with Carmen Ryu, CEO of Rio Hotels, will on Wednesday, April 20th, break ground for the construction of a new 700-room resort in the burgeoning tourism parish of Trelawney. The new property will push the number of hotels operated by the Spanish hotel chain in Jamaica to 7. During an interview with the Jamaica Observer, Bartlett revealed that a number of top tourism products are in train for the flourishing tourism parish, which already boasts the largest cruise ship port in the Caribbean. Among the tourism products on the horizon for the parish is a major development by Royalton, Bartlett revealed, but did not provide any further details. The 700 rooms that Rio will later be completed by another investment from Royalton Planet Hollywood, which is a very exciting new brand. Royalton Planet Hollywood, pretty cool. According to the tourism minister, the 800-room all-inclusive hotel by Marriott in the Amatera Resort in Cold Spring is still on the cards, as well as Harmony Cove, which will initially deliver 1,000 rooms. The Harmony Cove project is intended to be 1,000 rooms in the first phase and up to 3,000 in the end. This is supposed to be an integrated development involving golf and residential cottages, casino, and hotel, and so on, Bartlett said. He also noted that a mega development is also forthcoming for Flamingo Beach in the parish, but did not elaborate. The 232-room Malia Bracco Hotel in the parish, owned by state pensions manager the National Insurance Fund, which used to be its primary income earner, has not reopened since the lockdown due to the novel coronavirus pandemic. The property is reportedly up for divestment, and the tourism minister expressed hope that the new operators expand. Then there's also a planned Bracco being sold, and the intention is for whoever buys it to would do further development and expand the room count, Bartlett said. When all of the projects are completed, Trelawney will be the parish with the second highest number of hotel rooms next to St. James, the tourism minister stated. That will ensure that nearly 50% of the island's tourism asset will be in St. James and Trelawney, he said. Mayor Falmouth Council C. Junior Gager welcomed the impending investments in the parish and called upon residents to train and become certified for the job opportunities. What we are looking at is some serious investments coming into the parish. There will be financial spin-offs from the developments, but we have to be prepared to take advantage of these opportunities, Gager told the Sunday Observer. During the presentation to the sectorial debate, Bartlett cited that the investment climate was thriving despite the pandemic. Investment plays a critical role in building our new look tourism product, as it provides the funds necessary to construct and upgrade tourism projects and infrastructure essential to the development and the growth of the sector, Bartlett said then. I am happy to share Despite the challenges we have faced in our industry, our investment climate is booming. Over the last 4 years, tourism investments have contributed to 20% of the total foreign direct investments. Jamaica has experienced its largest hotel and resort development expansion in a single year. A total of, there we go, 2 billion with a B will be invested to bring 8,500 rooms on stream over the next 5 to 10 years, resulting in at least 24,000 part-time and full-time jobs and at least 12,000 jobs for construction workers, Bartlett said. And that is the end of the article. Let's hop over to the comments. All right. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Blind guy, his wife, their life. Throp, I saw your recent video on the influx of development in Kingston. It could be the foreign investors since it's so easy for outsiders to obtain land. Yeah, I mean Kingston is an interesting place. It just from and you'll see as we go along with the series, as the series continues, I should say, and it's actually most of it is being driven by Jamaicans, which is so interesting, and it's a lot of Jamaicans abroad. So this is residential real estate, mind you.
Hi, content creators.
This is not commercial. Actually, some of it is commercial, but we're not talking hotels here, is what I'm trying to say. So if you haven't, I'll throw it in the comment section here. If you haven't seen the trailer for the Kingston series that I've been talking about forever, it's finally up. You can go ahead and take a look at it. I threw it in the comments there. It should be up in a second. There you go. And yeah, it's interesting find, and to see that you have real estate investment or foreign direct investment coming from like two major sectors, like the hotel hospitality sector, and then also in the residential sector. I still want to get a little bit deeper and like again, what is driving this thing and what are these investors seeing in particular? That's what I want to get, specifically the hotel investors, which I haven't had an opportunity to speak to, which might be a good idea to have a video on that. Maybe speak to the CEO of Rio, right? I don't know if she'd give me a chance, but really it's just kind of getting in their heads and getting an understanding of that, because I mean, like I just read, $2 billion is being pumped directly into Jamaica's hospitality industry, which is amazing to me. But let's continue. Deborah says, please leave some of the beaches for the public. Sometimes people don't want to do the tourist thing. I agree. Even here in the grill, we are fighting. We have fought in the past, I should say, to keep the little public beaches that we have left, which is down by the beach park and then Long Bay. I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. If somebody wants to correct me on that, I'm open to that. But yeah, that's the only public beaches. And don't get me wrong, Negril as a whole, the beach itself is a public beach. But like when you talk about like if you want to bring your family to a particular sector and not have to go to a hotel or to a property that's owned privately, those are the only two locations that I can remember and know of that you can go to if you're a local, without having to check into a hotel or go, have a meal, and you can bring your own igloo and your food, etc. Those are the only places that I know remain, at least in the grill on the 7 Mile. Deborah also says, when you stay in the hotels, you don't see the Real Jamaica. Yep, I mean, I've stated that before about here at Travelers. Even though we have a bar, restaurant, and accommodations, to me, my thing is always, and this is kind of how I think when I travel, and I think I also get this from my father, is that you gotta go out and see the place. You gotta go out and see the country, wherever it is that you're visiting, And I think, with us staying, if you stay here, Travelers obviously is completely biased, but we encourage you to go out there, visit other bars, visit other restaurants, because there are great bars and restaurants throughout Negril. And it's not just about just being here at Travelers. I don't think you're getting like a holistic experience of what Negril is like and what Jamaica is like by just staying here. But then there are some people who just like all inclusives and like just paying their money and just doing that. Like my friends are actually coming, like my best friends that I grew up with from elementary school. Like they're coming in tomorrow, but they're married, they have kids, and they're staying in an all inclusive, which I completely understand. They just kind of want that security, so to speak, not having to worry about money. They paid everything, and that's it. They enjoy themselves. The kids are in an enclosed place, and I'm sure they have they have entertainment there for kids specifically, as a matter of fact. So there's different reasons for different people to choose different types of vacations, which I completely understand. But from again our perspective here, that's kind of what we push out more than anything else. Go out there, explore, enjoy Jamaica, enjoy Negro. All right, let's all back into the comments. He just says, "Do citizens have a say or vote on all the new developments?" I would think so. We've had here in Negril, we've had consultations on, like, they were going to do the beach park, so we had a consultation on that. I remember when a particular hotel, couple of recent hotels that kind of were developed here, we were more on consultations from an environmental perspective, because that's what we're concerned about in terms of making sure that certain regulations and laws would be enforced in the development, and some weren't, obviously, honestly, to be honest. But that's unfortunate. I don't know. I can't speak to this particular case if they had some sort of consultation. But at the end of the day, these are private deals. If somebody wants to sell land, they can do it. If it's government-owned land and they want to sell, at the end of the day, Jamaica is a capitalistic society and is pro-business in that sense. And I don't necessarily mind the development. I mean, my thing is really the environment. Making sure when you are putting up these buildings, like, we're really understanding the environmental impact that we're having and having all these rooms. Then second to that is the infrastructure in place. And I can speak specifically to here in the grill. Like, um, we're, from my understanding, with our sewage here, we're we're near capacity. And then also, even with our water here, that was a big, used to be a headache, I would say. And so much so, like, I think we tripled our water harvesting, our backup tanks, our backup water tanks, from the time we were going through that situation. We were like, man, we could never be put in this situation again, where the city is not providing enough water for us. And I guess we had to have water trucked in and and fill up the tanks that we had. So we completely, like I said, I think we 3x'd our capacity for water here because of that situation, and we learned from it. So we're never being jeopardized, so to speak, in the future. Hopefully we have enough. But those would be my concerns when you have these big developments happening, is like, what's that impact going to have on the community? And also, hopefully that, jobs and everything are great, but I hope there are also other spin-off businesses and entrepreneurial opportunities for people to be a part of this. Noble Girl says the town of Falmouth will be overrun. Could be, could be. Who knows? Who knows? Thank you, Irene, for compliments on the Kingston development. That was fun putting it together. But we got the series coming up, which I'm very, very excited to share with you guys in less than 2 weeks. Never says they should look at other forms of income. Yes, I continue to say this. I think Jamaica, industry-wise, we need to diversify outside of hospitality. I have loads of thoughts on that. Loads and loads of on that. But yeah, I think we do need other foreign direct investment. I think we have manufacturing opportunity. I think we have agricultural opportunities as well, which I'm not a farmer or anything like that, but from the farmers that I knew, one farmer in particular that I know is doing really, really well here. And actually, I'm gonna invite him on the podcast at some point in time. I'm gonna go to his farm, huge farm. Scotty Beamer says, "What is Ryu bringing to the island besides employment and filling their pockets with money?" Shake my head. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Sunday. Happy Resurrection Sunday. Yeah, I mean that's basically what they are bringing to the table. Like I said, I don't have any particular problem with that. Um, you know, I would say here, like again, here is just like again environmental infrastructure, and then the thirdly is like I do hope there are other opportunities for people and sustainable opportunities in terms of some opportunities outside of hospitality. Right. Scotty Bemis, 7 hotels and no philanthropic investments, at least not that I've heard of, in the island. KMT. Yeah, that would be cool too, man. That would be. Sorry, Scotty, I know you're not a man. But the the that would I think that would be such a good contingency to investors. Like, hey, like for example, like Negro have been saying, we need a high school. Like, build us a high school, or you know, make that a part of it, like something sustainable. And I would say, like, yeah, don't donate to a charity. Like, build us a building, build us a school, and then have like a continuation of funds that go towards that school for like 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is, that a percent, like a certain amount of money every year goes to that school. And that to me would be that to me would be like a good contingency to invest and make these huge investments, because building a school, I mean, considering the billions that they're pouring in, is not gonna be a lot for them. Oh, welcome KC to the membership. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Synthwave Pro says Rio and other hoteliers smell money as post-COVID travel industry hinting at record-breaking revenue. Yeah, but I want to. I mean, I would think these deals were in, or maybe they can. Who knows? Maybe you're right, man. Maybe you're right. Maybe they see what's happening and they can hop on. But this was happening before COVID. This was happening before these investments happened. These new investments that we just learned about, like the boom has been going on like the last 5 years, and it continues to roll out and roll out, roll out. And like I would venture to guess that like all these things were in talks for a very long time, not a very long time, but like at least a year, maybe a little bit more. And it's probably going to take them a year, 2 years to build these hotels. And I honestly think there is something, like they are seeing something in Jamaica. And again, this was pre-COVID, that you're seeing these investments coming on board. I'm like, man, what is it that these guys are seeing? What are they seeing in the numbers? What are they seeing in the global economic events? Like, I mean, we just had a war that just broke out, and these guys are still investing these billions. So you might have a point there, Synthwave. All right, Alfonso. Happy holidays. I'm still last for words. Why isn't Negril the capital of tourism instead of Montego Bay? Negril has so much to offer, including its 7 mile beautiful beach. I agree. Like it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I mean, what Montego Bay has the one up is the airport. Like that's like the only thing, is they have the airport coming in, and people who don't want to travel an hour and a half by bus or car, they're there. They're right there, 5 minutes from the hotel, 10 minutes from the hotel, whatever it is. And I think people really appreciate that. Hey, maybe if we get a hotel in the grill, things will change drastically. And that's something that we've pushed for before in the past, and I think we need to kind of bring that up again in the discussion, is to have a hotel. Excuse me, have have an airport here, even though we do have a small airport. But maybe if I don't know how much it costs to fly a plane from Negril, Montego Bay, and vice versa. But maybe if there was some on a more affordable way to get people from the airport here quicker, that would also be an option. And I think, but you'd have to do it in mass, right? You'd have to do it in mass. And there was also some other ideas of doing a ferry, which I believe we talked about before. And if you had a ferry going from Montego Bay, like one of these ferries that like they have in Greece, like these are like speedboat ferries kind of thing, or at least I thought they were moving very fast, but it's very much a part of their life because they have islands, multiple islands in Greece, and that's kind of how you move from one to another. So just another idea, and I think that could be also another reason why Montego Bay continues to be the push for all this. But we'll see. Right. Scotty Demas says Jamaica should have something like that to put in lore that if you want to make this huge development in the island, you have to invest philanthropically to the island. I agree. That's something that I think we the people will have to push, and that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I think that is something that we should push for sure. Dieter says government and corporations are the same all over the world. Some good, some bad. Community build has to build community that's simple. Jamaica is full of opportunities. Totally agree. Totally agree. All right, let's hop into what's the next article that we have going on here. No, we did that one already. Okay, residents ecstatic over Grange Pen development project. So we're moving out of hospitality and we're moving in a little bit into more development. All right, here we go. Oh, let me throw the article in the comment section so you can read along. All right, here we go. Residents ecstatic over Grange Pen development project. Grange Pen St. James. Residents of Grange Pen are excited over the $960 million resort squatter settlements upgrade project now underway in their community, which among other things will transform stone and dirt roads to asphalt thoroughfares. Mavis Robinson, who has resided in Grange Pen for the past 16 years, recounted prior to the project, residents had to wash the red dirt off their feet because the dirt track they had to walk on before seeking transportation. When we go in downtown, we go down the road, we have to wash our feet because the dirt is red. Again, patois, I'm just going to do my own translation here because I'm not going to read that. We've come a far way. I always said one day, Robinson told the Observer. Hotel worker Andre Bailey, who has resided in the community for nearly 3 decades, expressed his joy to see the infrastructure improvement project, which he said has been in the pipeline for many years, finally come to fruition. Finally, I feel good about the project. I have been living here for 26 years, and I have always heard that the road infrastructure would be put in. We wholeheartedly welcome the project. Another resident who goes by the moniker Townist was also appreciative of the infrastructure development, but he expressed concern that motorists are now speeding along the thoroughfares. He recommended that residents collectively put in speed bumps to deter the speeding motorists. I welcome the upgrade of the road, but my only concern is the speeding along the roadway. We have a lot of children, and we have a lot of children who ride bicycles, and they always have pylon. Community members need to come together and build a sleeping police on the roadways to prevent speeding, the community member stated. Shopkeeper Margaret Tingling told the Observer that her business has been enjoying strong patronage from the people of the project. The project has helped my business a lot because construction workers stop here, Tingling stated. The project has already brought better roads and water supply that have been put in. So right now it is better for us. During the recent sectoral budget presentation, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, who is also a member of Parliament of the St. James East Central, announced that the Tourism Enhancement Fund is partnering with the Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, to improve the infrastructure for tourism workers currently residing in the informal settlement of Grange Pen and his constituency. He said that the total area being covered by the postponed development is 98 acres, which includes 535 residential lots, equivalent to approximately 8,000 square feet per lot. The scope of the infrastructure project includes road construction and paving, drainage infrastructure, water supply and sewage connection to National Water Commission system, electricity distribution, and land titling. The project is currently in the construction phase and is approximately 67% completed. To date, the following have been achieved. 6 of the 21 roads are 100% completed with asphalt concrete in place. One of the 5 footpaths is 100% completed. Sewer infrastructure has been completed on 16 roads, footpaths, easements. Water supply infrastructure to include testing from NWC is completed on 16 roads, footpaths, and easements. Bartlett said during his recent contribution to the sectoral debate. He added that this transformational project will be completed in 2022-2023 fiscal year. That's some good news. We actually definitely need that here in Negril. But it's good to see that you have these informal settlements are being addressed. And as we talked about in Negril last week with the informal settlements that we have on Namprel and in Whitehall, we love to see those folks, those residents of Negril, be put into better infrastructure housing. So hopefully that happens and they move that idea over to the west over here. Meta says, don't be ashamed of your culture, speak the language. Oh, I'm not ashamed. Super proud, actually. I just can't. But let's see the next article. So this one is outside of tourism sector. And I thought this was relevant for our discussions here. So the last article was in the Observer, just so everybody knows. And again, written by Horace Hines. I see it at the bottom, Horace Hines. That article. And this one is also from the Observer, and I'll throw. Nah, you guys want to laugh at me. Rita Patois, I love your accent. It gives me a belly full of laughter. Exactly. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do it. That's exactly why I don't do it. Novlet has proven my point exactly. All right. This article, can I purchase real estate under permanent resident status? And let's pull this down so you can see the beach here. And article. Put the article in the comments there for you, and I'll go ahead and read. Subtitle, Jamaica to Canada. So this is kind of one of the Dear Abby type articles. And it says, Dear Mr. Brown, I heard that there will be a ban on foreigners purchasing real estate. I expect my permanent residence card soon, but there have been delays. I would like to know if I would be able to purchase real estate, even though I am still a Jamaican citizen. Thank you very much for your assistance over the years. Dear CH, the Canadian government recently announced that it will ban foreign investors from buying. Okay, this is not. This is something different. I thought it was the opposite. I read this wrong. But it's really specific to Canada. But You guys interested in this? You can still read it through if you want me. All right, so I'll read it through anyway. The Canadian government has recently announced that it will ban foreign investors from buying homes in Canada for 2 years. The real estate market in Canada increased more than 20% last year and 50% in 2 years. The average home in Canada is 817,000 Canadian dollars. Wow. According to this ban, is an attempt to lower demand and speculative foreign real estate investors. Soaring housing costs reflect population growth and shortage of supply, lower interest rates and borrowing costs, which all increase demand. Experts have stated that foreign home purchases are not a significant issue in Canada. It has been reported that non-residents own about 3.4% of all homes in Toronto and 4.8% of homes in Vancouver housing market. However, foreign buyers who are in a position to make such an investment can offer higher bids, which can make it more difficult for Canadians to purchase a home. To cool the real estate market, and some suggest additional taxes on all real estate investors, regardless of citizenship. Exceptions to real estate ban or notable exceptions include permanent residents who are foreign citizens, temporary foreign workers, and students. Therefore, in response to your question, as a permanent resident, you would still be able to purchase real estate. That's interesting. I'm just going to leave it there. They go into a little bit more detail at the bottom, but that's kind of crazy because when you look at the U.S., for example, like the same exact thing is happening over there in terms of the amount of like the real estate prices that are going crazy in the US. And I don't know, I don't know if it's being driven by foreign investors, but actually I've heard that actually it is, at least from a commercial standpoint. A lot of foreign investors are investing in the US, and sure contributing to the increased housing prices over there. Well, that's actually the last article that I have. Let's hop into the comments. Synthwave says Canada is a housing crisis. The foreign investor ban is federal government's attempt to quell soaring prices. Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it. The same thing is happening in the States. I mean, just madness. Just especially in like when in New York, it's just insane. These matchstick boxes that you're getting for hundreds of thousands of dollars that you have to pay, as far as apartments go, and same with houses. Like it's incredible the prices that these things are going for. Valor Wright says, "Hi Throp, it's Mike and Valor. It's so true. There are a lot of businessmen here in Canada who are coming out to seek land for a hotel." Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. So I mean, I hope that helps. I haven't heard of a country doing that before, but maybe that'll help kind of drive down the prices of these houses or make them more affordable. But the average price being 817,000 Canadian dollars, that's pretty insane. Like, who can afford that? Only a select few people. I see Kita. I think I missed this comment earlier, but the beauty of the island is that it is not busy and populated like city metropolis, all crowded, loud, and dirty. Leave Negril to be so it won't lose its vibe. Yeah, that's what people want. A lot of people here want this the low density, and they appreciate the low density here in the grill. But as I mentioned, I've mentioned a few times in previous lives that we had, is that the housing regulations that we have, or the building regulations that we had here, have increased. And I know we've talked about the our old law that we had here in the grill, that you can't build above the highest, tallest coconut tree in the grill. But now it's a situation that you can go 4 stories. So that's no longer the rule, and it seems like the grill is trending in that direction of being a of having taller buildings. Not skyscrapers, but they are taller buildings, compared to years past. All right, no more articles. Anybody has any questions? there was a question earlier. Let me see. I think we saw this comment from Calvin. I'm not sure. But let me know if you guys have any questions. More than happy to answer them. The membership, do a second shout out for that. Thank you for that, Casey. Again, I'm gonna throw the trailer in. This is the Kingston trailer. I'm gonna throw that in the comments. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. This is for the Kingston real estate. It's fine. This is for the Kingston real estate series that I've been promising everyone. So we're finally releasing the first episode in 2 weeks, and plan on doing an episode every week. So we're looking at 5 or 6 chapters of this series, and we will, like I said, release them every week. I'm very, very excited about that. A lot of like super, I would say underground information, but I would say definitely inside information that I sure didn't know about and I wasn't aware of, and I'm really happy to be bringing that to you all, the subscribers. Sade says, Bermuda has very high taxes for foreign property buyers to protect locals from being priced out of the market. I think that's, yeah, I mean, I actually think the Jamaican government is doing the opposite, at least with hotels. They're actually incentivizing them actually with tax breaks. And I think that's how a lot of these large hotels come into play here, is because of the opportunity, because I suppose they can go to other islands. At least I've heard of that in the past. I don't know the specific on these deals that we recently discussed that are coming into Trelawney, these new hotels. So, yeah, as far as residents here, like, I don't think that that's happening here in terms of housing. Well, come to think of it, the housing prices in Kingston are crazy, but it continues to rise, But it's not a situation. Again, from what I learned when I was there, it's not a situation where there is an inventory shortage. I would say, at least that's from what I understand. I think people are really seeing that there is a need for. There is the demand. The supply continues to meet the demand, that's that sort of thing, and it continues to roll out like that. Whereas Negril is the opposite, where we have higher demand than there is supply as far as residential accommodation goes. But good point on that, Sade. Thank you for letting us know that. Laura says, question drop, why the government takes so long to give you title for your land? It's me, Valor. I got land from my father, and it took us 5 years to get the title. Just received it last month. Yeah, I really don't know. Same thing. We've had that issue before. When I say we, me and my family, in terms of in property that we bought before. I really don't know. I think bureaucracy, inefficiencies. I have no idea, but that's pretty much the norm. I don't know anybody that has gotten their title like, oh my gosh, it's been only 3 months, or it's been only a year. Yeah, but that is just one of those things. And what also happens is you get, and this, and my, I know somebody that recently bought an apartment, and they were told by all parties involved before they even got the title, hey, do whatever you got to do to the property in terms of refurbishing, etc. It's fine, because the money, everything went through. And so it's almost like an understanding that you can move forward on whatever project it is that you're doing without a land title. Of course, making sure everybody involved knows about it, and you kind of get these handshake agreements because they know how long the title process really takes, and everybody's kind of okay with that. So, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that it's taken so long, but kind of is what it is right now with that. Leader says Jamaica should definitely keep limits on unregulated foreign investment, especially real estate. Agreed. Agreed. I think it's important. I think that's important. Making sure that there is some left or a portion allocated for residents and locals. So I say Throp Irina from Jamaica with Irie post an amazing video today about tourist towns in Jamaica. I hope you watch it. You may want to do a similar one about Negril. I'll definitely take a look at that. Thank you, Sade. And yes, everybody, please like the live. It definitely helps out. Donna Bryce says, my cousin is a top producer for one of Jamaica's leading real estate companies and easily rented 3 units at 20 South in Kingston at 1,700 US monthly and upwards. Yep, the apartment that I visited there, which was it was a 1 bedroom. I think it was on the 7th floor, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they were renting it for 1,700 US. It's like Manhattan prices. I don't know if you could find. Oh, it's New York City prices for sure. 1,700 1 bedroom in New York. That will be hard to find. I know most places are like 2,000, 2,100 and up. In Brooklyn, at least for a 1 bedroom, you're probably paying at least 2,100 for that. But it's kind of close. 1,700 for a 1 bedroom. I don't know. Maybe that was a studio that your cousin was selling. Who knows? But it definitely is pretty pricey out there. Let's see if this camera's up. Cool. So we'll end this here. All right. Don't got much left. I know we had a late start today. Not a lot to discuss here, but open there. Of course, pushing the trailer as much as possible because it's what you guys wanted. So we got it out there for you. Plus monthly fees, Donna says. Yep. Not cheap. All right, I think we're gonna wrap up early. I don't want to just kind of keep everybody on here without having anything. Unless you all have some questions that you want to ask, I'd be more than happy to answer as best as I can. I can give you some updates on this week. I went to a small brunch this Friday, on Good Friday, and we documented the experience, which was kind of cool. Just another Jamaican grill social experience. So we're going to be putting that out this week, and then of course working very hard on the Kingston real estate video. I have the first Kingston real estate video, the first chapter, I'd say, or first part of the series, that will be out on April 30th. So 2 Saturdays from now. I hope I have that right. Yeah, April 30th, 2 Saturdays from now. So that's coming out then, and of course I'll be posting about it in the community and everything like that to make sure that nobody misses it. We also have doing a couple of interviews this week coming up, which I'm excited about as well, and we'll probably push out those, at least one of them, the following week. So I'm trying to get to few episodes per week. But right now, especially with Kingston, we're just going to be doing one episode per week as we move along, and we'll kind of take it from there. You're welcome, Scotty. No problem. So that's all the content that we have coming up. I would say I'll put this in the community as well. I'm doing a triathlon in Treasure Beach at the end of this month. So we're going to be documenting that. So Treasure Beach has the longest running off-road triathlon in the entire world. Another claim to fame of Jamaica. And I'll be participating in that. Not the strongest swimmer. I'm very comfortable in the water, but I'm not a racing swimmer. So I am chilling on that whole thing. I had a panic attack the first and only triathlon I did, which was that triathlon, I think 3 or 4 years ago. So lesson learned, I'm not going to be killing myself out there. Haven't been biking either. So it's going to be interesting day that day. And of course, I'm very comfortable with the running. So that's like precisely what I am looking forward to, is the last leg of the triathlon. So if you're in town and you're around, you want to come out for the weekend and see a cool event, I'll be there. It'll be nice to meet you if you want to come and say hello and support me during the race. Although you probably won't see that much of me. You'll probably only see me transitioning from swimming to biking, and then biking to running, and then me running in the finish line, whatever place that I come in. But it'll be cool to meet you if you want to come out. So that's the weekend of the 30th, the same weekend that we're dropping the first episode of the Kingston real estate series. So that's kind of what's happening and what's coming up on the channel. So that's about it. So I'm gonna wrap it right there. Just gonna point over to the island there. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up right there. I know it's Easter Sunday. Everybody hopefully spending time with their families. There's a lot of families out here. As a matter of fact, it's a big weekend here in the Grill for local residents to come out and hang out at the beach. We have actually a sip and paint event here at Travelers. And so that starts at 5 o'clock. So it's one of those where you have like, I guess, some sort of guided artist to help you paint, and you can have drinks. I believe wine is included as well. So we have that starting here at 5 o'clock at Travelers Sip and Paint for the Easter Sunday. All right, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. It's a short one today. We usually go like 2 hours, but 1 hour, I'm cool with that if you're cool with that. Yes, Donna, good reminder. Please hit that like button. It definitely helps out a lot. Thank you, Kita. Is that Juicy playing? Juicy? What do you mean by that? Oh, in the back, yeah. Oh, wow, you can hear that. I hope we're probably going to get demonetized if you can hear that. That is Juicy playing in the background. Yeah, I couldn't really hear it. Good point, you. Good pickup. Nice hanging out with you as well, Sade. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Happy Easter once again to all. And I hope everybody has a great week coming up. And look out for the videos that I have coming out this week. And I will continue to post in the community page. And I got the videos coming out for channel members and Patreon members. So if you want to support the channel a little bit more, one level up, you can become a channel member, or you can become a Patreon/Throp, and you can join that way as well. But if not, love having you all be subscribers and love having you all on these live streams that we have. And I will see you next week for sure, next Sunday, same time, same place. And I'll see you all in the community post as well. Got a couple of posts coming up this week as well. Nice hanging out with everybody. Have a good Sunday and a great week. Bye-bye.